Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to a special concert edition of the channel, Concert Reviews. We have all been pretty busy going to see some shows of late, and specifically, we've done some Mercyful Fate action in various venues over the last week. So we wanted to come on and tell you all about it. So we've got we got a good chunk of the crew from the Hudson Valley Squares, plus one of our Monsters Den folks. So we've got who we got here? We got Ralph Tambora, the Count himself. What's going on? We got Ryan Scow, Craig Kaminsky, Karen La Preziosa, and the man himself from Rock Fantasy, Steve Keeler. This is like a Monday night must-see TV with the Hudson Valley Squares, except on Wednesday night. So
right
on. A special treat here today. So we got two shows specifically, and we'll probably talk about a couple more. But Mercyful Fate brought their tour into the area over the last week. They made a stop in Brooklyn, New York at the King's Theater on Thursday the 10th. And then a couple nights later, they were at the, what's the name of the place?
Fillmore in
Philadelphia. Philadelphia, right? So, and in tow with them, they brought Midnight and Kreator. Two pretty great shows. So let's see. So everybody on this Zoom was at Brooklyn, and then Craig, Steve, and Ryan also went to Philly. And
yes.
I'm looking at the set list. They were exactly the same. So let's start with Brooklyn, first of all. So, Karen, how long did it take you to get to the Hudson Valley to Brooklyn?
It seemed like an eternity. Shut up, Ryan.
You were texting me like, I got to get out of this fucking
it was a horrible situation. I was like crammed in a car. And we were in traffic on the West Side Highway. It was terrible. I don't want to talk about it, but it was traumatic.
She had to pay me thousands to get a ride home with Brian.
Yeah, I was like, please, oh, please.
Brian,
but the traffic was horrible, and it was just making everything worse. And they went to go park the car, and they kind of slowed down, and I jumped out right in front of the theater. I didn't even want to deal with that. Yeah.
We got dropped off at the door too.
Karen was not happy. I saw her like as soon as I walked in, and she's like, that was an awful ride. I'm like, I'm not going back with them tonight. I'm like,
no way. No, it was stressful.
Yeah, it was bad. And I think we all went different routes, and it took all of us like equally as long. I mean,
I thought I was being sneaky by going like West Side Highway. People in Finland are like, what are you fucking talking about? But I took the West Side Highway to the Battery Tunnel, and that was good right up until I got into Brooklyn, and then fucked. Yeah, it just
because it's way out in Brooklyn, right? It took we left Alice's house at 3 o'clock.
In Flatbush.
We didn't walk in till like after 7. It was ridiculous.
It's in the ass end of Brooklyn for sure.
Yeah.
Which way did you go, Pete? Did you go the West Side Highway?
No, we didn't take the West Side Highway. We took we were on the Grand Central, and we kept getting on and off all sorts of different ways. It was ridiculous. We drove, through Brooklyn. It took us like almost 2 hours to get through Brooklyn.
We went over to Palisades, which I've done. The last time I went, it was always been a nightmare going there. UBS is much easier, which is scary.
Yeah, we actually drove right by UBS, and it took us about 2 hours to get to UBS, and then it was like another 2 hours from there. So that just
tell you what, I made it to Philadelphia quicker than I made it to there.
No doubt.
Which is crazy.
I did the same thing. It was faster to go to Philly.
Like 2:45 to get to the venue. It's right off 95 there. Hit a little traffic in the parking lot. It was right off the exit.
Anybody not in the New York area, all these highways we're mentioning, they all fucking suck. All of them.
It wasn't always like that.
They're all
especially after 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
And the show was at 7. We were driving towards Manhattan like around 6 o'clock. It was terrible. But I have to say, it's just gotten worse. It hasn't been always this bad.
It's bad. Yeah,
it's ridiculous now. It's like I'm in Los Angeles.
A little bit.
Yeah. And there's no place to park there.
Well, let's talk about some
parking lot shut down.
We had to park like a mile and a half away, and then we had to take an Uber from the parking lot to the venue. Ralph, did you have any better luck? Same shit.
No, it took over 3.5 hours by the time we left at 4. And by the time we got down there, when we hit the GW bridge there, it just stopped. It was like, it took like an hour to move like 5 miles. And by the time we parked and then got in there and went to the bathroom and got a beer, it was like Kreator was like almost done. I caught the last like 3 or 4 songs.
Oh, that's awful. That's too bad.
How many miles are you guys driving to take that? It took so long.
It's like 75 miles.
Yeah, it isn't that much.
And Philly is like 140, and that's faster for me to go.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I was
think
gonna say,
like
I
if
mean,
it was a
for me,
Brooklyn
4 hours, I could drive down to Washington, for,
Yeah.
I could drive to Boston in 4 hours too.
yeah, wow.
Well, it wasn't any traffic would be better, but it was a great show once we got there.
Yeah.
Venue.
It was a nice theater and it was good sound, good show.
So I didn't see any of Midnight. So anybody catch any of them at all? I mean,
They were good.
did.
So I've seen them a lot going back like 20 years now. And I don't know, to me they're a band that, I mean, if you're not familiar, it's like a Motorhead, Venom kind of band. I used to see them in like these little shithole, like dirty little, like I saw them in a loading dock once in Brooklyn. It was called like 285 Kent was the venue. The only show I ever saw there. It was literally a loading dock. They hosted a PA
Wow.
and it was wild. Like the show was absolute madness. At the end of the show, the bass player unplugs his bass cabinet and just fucking throws it in the crowd, which I'm like, well, someone's gonna die because those things weigh like 200 pounds. Like they're great in that environment, but on a really big stage, I don't know. Like they still sounded good, but they need to play in like dirty little like basements. Like that's the kind of band. And good for them, they're getting bigger, getting bigger crowd and all that. You can't complain about that, but they're definitely
They
not
look small.
Yeah, they're a band that is perfect in like a small venue, like St.
Yeah.
Vitus, like I usually go to, like that kind of size, 200-300 people, wild crowd, perfect. Yeah.
A week or two ago, they played an off night at the tour at a small brewery in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania.
Oh wow!
And it was something like $20 or something like that.
Wow.
But it was on like a Wednesday. It was it was an off day of the tour. And I'd said to my brother, I said, "Hey, Mechanicsburg, do you want to make the drive out there?" He's like, "Oh no, that's like on Wednesday. I got to work." And then when we're watching them, on again like Brian said, on a big stage, I said, and I said to my brother, I said, imagine these guys playing in like some beer hall. It's like
great.
it's like your basement, or something. I said we'd probably get killed, if we were there.
Wow.
That's my second time catching them. I saw them on the Abbott Obituary Tour, 2019. Yeah, they got a ton of energy. They remind me of a 70s like dirty, grimy rock and roll, black and rock, I guess, or metal band.
And they could be walking around the venue all night afterwards. And you
Nah,
never know because I know what they look like, but like if you didn't know, they wear hoods. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and in fact, it's kind of like some other bands where, hey, if somebody gets sick, gets a flu, hey, throw the other guy up there. No one's gonna know the difference. All
Yeah,
you're
you
about
don't
the same height and weight. But I thought they were okay. And I mean, I don't have any vinyl. I sell a lot of their product in the store though. But they were solid. They were solid opener, kind of fit the whole mystique.
And you mentioned how they'd probably be a better band seen in a small, tiny venue somewhere. I mean, this is a 3,000 seater, sold out.
It was a regal theater. I mean,
it was very fancy.
They looked so small on that stage. I mean, it was so huge. I wonder, like, how old is that theater? Does anybody know?
That theater has been around for a long, long time, but it was refurbished recently, and all those statues and everything you see in there is all new. I was told by someone.
Fantastic. It's in a shit neighborhood, and it's like stands out like a beacon.
Yeah, it is really nice in there. It's really nice.
Since it's a theater, what's nice about it, if you're down in the pit, you had plenty of room in the pit this time for a sold out show. You weren't packed in like Starland Ballroom or something like some craziness like that happens in certain places. And the place is really leveled.
Yeah.
So if you're all the way back before the seats, you could see perfectly because it has a real nice slope to it. The orchestra does. Yeah. Which is the old orchestra pit. If someone Googles that, what's his name's not on tonight, so
we need Nick.
Sorry, we need Nick to Google. Someone Google when it opened, but I'm sure it's been there for turn of the century.
All right, I'll do it. All right, if you guys want to start talking about Kreator, I'll Google it for you. King's Theater, Brooklyn, New York. So I caught all of Kreator. All right, so this bit 1929. It's been around since 1929. Closed in 1977 and then renovated in 2010.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
So it sat there closed for
years.
Closed for
years.
70. No, he said from 77 to 2010 it was closed. Wow.
Well, they did a nice job rehabilitating it.
Yep, it sat empty for decades. Yeah. So quite a while.
So what are you going around to each one of us or just kind of just throwing stuff out to bullshit?
Yeah, I'm just throwing stuff out there. So what'd you guys think of Kreator?
Because I wrote up some notes.
I wish I've talked to Steve about this a lot. I like busting his balls on this, but I love the first couple Kreator albums, and I just don't like them after that. And I know, and you know what? They're still huge. They sell a lot of albums. They tour, and that's great. That's fine. But I could listen to Pleasure to Kill all day. I think it's one of the greatest albums ever. And I'm glad they did play Flag of Hate and title track Pleasure to Kill.
Okay.
But man, a couple more old songs. I know Chris is not with us right now. He loves Terrible Certainty. That would have been because when they played that stuff, especially like the crowd. I was going to say the crowd in New York was pretty mellow. I know Craig commented on this too. The crowd really was fucking bananas.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like when they said, let's do the Wall of Death in New York, everybody's like, yeah, whatever. And Philly was just like, you know, it was like freaking Napoleonic War. I spilled half my fucking beer because I couldn't drink it. Like,
which went on me.
Fuck. As soon as he said that, I'm like, I gotta finish this beer quick.
I got a clip of that up on Rock Fantasy YouTube channel. Anybody want to check it out? A couple.
But yeah, when Kreator played those old, they finished their set with the 2 old songs, and the place just exploded. And I love that. I'm like, come on, play it. I know that they're not the headlining band, but man, you don't have to play all new songs, guys. But I know they like.
I will say it was a strong set list, though.
They sounded good. Yeah, I can't fault them on
and
that.
actually, some of the songs were not new that they play. Some of those are 20-some years old now.
Yeah.
When I say if it's past
Like
Cobalt
40
Souls,
Yeah. So it's But I agree 100%. I agree 100%.
I wanted to hear Betrayer, and they didn't play.
Oh yeah, Betrayer. Yeah. I agree 100%. Maybe pull at least one more song from the 80s.
Endless Pain, Riot of Violence. You know, you don't got to go.
Riot of Violence is so good.
But
they said they did announce in Philadelphia they will be back with a headlining tour next summer. So.
They sounded great though. I can't take anything away from them. And that backdrop, Karen, I forget the painter's name, the guy that did the artwork.
That
is a really. I think it's the cover of the new album.
Haunting.
It's fucking great. It's really good.
What were they? Those bodies hanging from? Oh my god, it was insane. Like I had
smoke. They had smoke too, which was used pretty well. At least
there's your backdrop right here. That's the backdrop.
Yeah, that's
what about the bodies hanging in front of it?
Well, they had the red. They had the red. What's your party album cover? If you see.
I'm gonna butcher this guy's name. I
think they've been using this artist for quite a while.
It's Elian Cantor. He does a few new bands now. I think I hope I got the right guy.
Kreator's always had some pretty cool album covers, and it looks similar to.
Yeah, and it's like a throwback to the first couple albums, like the characters they used. It was really cool.
Yeah. But it was still kind of, I don't want to say alarming, but to see those bodies hanging. I thought it was amazing. Like,
it was cool. Yeah.
It was cool.
I haven't seen Kreator since, the 80s.
Wow. I've seen them. I've seen them repeatedly since the 80s, and I saw them on every tour from 2000s on.
I'd never seen all 3 of these groups. This was my first time seeing all 3 of them. Wow. So,
Ralph, how many times have you seen Kreator?
Probably at least 15 times. I liked how at one point in the show he said, when we used to play here back in the day, we used to play a little club named L'Amour's. Anybody know L'Amour's? And it was like a bunch of people.
The crowd went crazy for that. Yeah.
I seen them with DRI at L'Amour's on Terrible Certainty tour. And they blew my mind. You know, they were great back then. And, we had them right in Middletown on the
Extreme Aggression. And
we had them at Rock Fantasy in store and stuff. So I've seen them, throughout the years, They played. They're always playing, and they never broke up or nothing. So I wasn't too upset about missing them because I've seen them so many times in such small places,
But you were upset because you got there late.
That was like the 6th time I've seen. That was the 6th time I seen Mercyful Fate because when they reunited back in the 90s, they played the Chance a few times. They played Saratoga Winners, Studio One. So you got to see them in these little clubs. And it's great to see all these years later, the recognition that they're finally getting that recognition where they're playing big theaters like they are now,
Yeah. I think they're getting more recognition now than ever, and they're turning their music onto a whole new generation.
Whole new generation.
There was a lot of younger kids at both of those shows.
Going crazy for
girls behind us, Steve. They were going crazy.
Yeah, good for them.
The craziest guy, I have a clip of him on the Rock Fantasy channel, is Zen.
Oh my god, Zen was crazy.
Picture this 100 mile an hour for like an hour.
Zen is one of our pinball people, and we saw quite a bit of him there. It was really cool.
We were hanging out with him. He was going bizarre bomb.
Sometimes you just really get into a show. You get in that zone, and that's it.
Yeah.
But I agree with Ryan. One or two more 80s tracks. I know they only played two songs from the new album.
Just two, yeah.
Just two from the new album.
Yeah.
But they only had 9 songs to work with, you know. They only had 9 songs.
It's fair. I'm sure the headliner they'll throw some more classics in.
One note about Midnight before we move on, they had like the most merch in Philadelphia. Their merch stand was huge.
Did you buy anything?
Right? No, I didn't buy anything from them, but Ryan, you saw their merch. It was huge.
They had a lot of stuff.
I got like twice the size of the regular merch stand.
It was. I've got shirts from them going back like years now, like laying around. I don't even know where to find. I have so many fucking shirts. But
they have cool
they had
designs.
A lot of shirts.
They had a great imagery.
Yeah, I thought so. I never saw them before. I thought they were great. I liked them a lot.
So where we had
Mercyful Fate. So let me read off the set list, then we can kind of talk a little bit about it. So we got The Oath, A Corpse Without Soul, Jackal of Salzburg, which is the new track, which I really like a lot.
I liked it.
Yeah. Curse of the Pharaohs, Dangerous Meeting, Doomed by the Living Dead, Melissa, Black Funeral, Evil, Come to the Sabbath, and Satan's Fall is the encore, which I thought was awesome. So Karen, your thoughts on Mercyful Fate?
It was great. I don't know. I have a little bit of a video where they're coming out, and every time I watch it, I hear you, Steve. You were standing not too far from me. You go, "Oh my God," when King Diamond came out, and that's exactly how I felt. And it was just like, it was so good. I hadn't seen them since the 80s. It's been a minute, you know what I mean? So I don't know. And the set was amazing. They played all my favorite songs, and it was great. I don't know what else I can say. I can add to what you guys got to say, but I was just floored, and the crowd was great. It was a really great vibe. They were pretty rowdy for New York. Let's put that out there, for New York. And I just thought it was so cool.
You got a van ride back with Brian and all.
I did. I sure did. It was
like 10 of us in a passenger van. It was like we're on tour.
Yeah, we went to the diner.
It wasn't like that. Me and Frank were in the back.
You went to the diner? We went to McDonald's in
Jersey
Chester.
No, it wasn't.
There were 9
but I'm not complaining. I was grateful for the ride.
So I haven't been to a diner after a show since I was with Scal last time. What's that?
I said, so Steve, you went to both shows. So was it fairly similar as far as performance? And I mean, these guys are pros, so I'm sure it was.
Yeah, I tell you, the sound with Mercyful Fate, and like she had an echo on her, the energy that was in the room in New York City for them was over the top. The band was great. The favorites from me from that set list, the ending with Satan's Fall. Oh. So epic. Corpse Without a Soul. And I love Melissa. I mean, I love all this stuff.
Yeah.
The only thing I would love to hear was Desecration of Souls.
Yes.
Or maybe Welcome Princess of Hell. But they most of Melissa. They had great merchandise, which I'm wearing the Break the Yellow shirt now. They were really pushing the Nuns Have No Fun cover.
Yeah.
That was the design.
I've got 2 bootleg shirts, a long sleeve and a short sleeve for it.
You bought so that was the hoodie from the show, Ralph.
Yeah, that was a hoodie from the show. Here's one of those bootleg shirts from back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one I got. Yeah.
So other than that, I mean, the Philadelphia show, I don't know if that was sold out. It looked pretty packed when I was there for.
I think it was.
When I was there for Sabaton and Mastodon, it seemed just as crowded. The line for merch from Mercyful Fate was pretty long, not as long as the Sabaton one, which was nuts because it went all the way from the front door of the venue to the stage. That was crazy that night. But I mean, that they sold a ton of merch. And I don't want to hear a thing out of you about Sabaton because you were listening to Madonna all the way home from the show.
I said that. I admitted it. We sang it for like pretty much up until
the certain metal, but really like some 80s pop instead. So anyhow. I was listening to Laura Harriman Spotify playlist from Dark Funeral.
I bet he loves me.
Very surprising, very commercial stuff on there, but it's good to listen to on the way home.
But he likes True Blue, his favorite Madonna album.
And that was my point. I had a great time in Philadelphia. My friend had backstage passes. I wish she would have took me with her because she got pictures with everyone. She hung out with King. She actually got his autograph on her arm. She went and had it inked yesterday, so she's got King Diamond's autograph on her arm.
Did you have VIP tickets?
I had a VIP seat that I had bought, and I was bringing someone from Middletown who got caught last minute, and I actually went solo, and that ticket went wasted. We had VIP. I paid like $100 for these VIP. Sit on the side, look down, which was a great.
We saw you up there. Don't worry, we saw you.
You wanted me to come down the pit. I'm like, I'm not going to stand 90 deep in the pit where I can sit and watch it from a nice view.
We saw they were feeding grapes to Steve.
Yeah, they had the big
guy came
up there. They were fanning
yeah,
them
we had waitresses up there.
He's looking down
perfect.
on all the.
I mean, it was great for a little over $100.
Yeah, I had people smashing and me pouring my beer. You know, that's what
I was watching it.
Don't smoke in my face, and there's Steve.
ran into
hammock.
Sydney and Anna Taylor, who was hanging out with us.
I wish I would have gotten a chance to see her. Ryan probably made the wise move to say he went over to where she was standing, which was on the left side.
Yeah, it was so crowded. I texted him like, I'm by the L in Mercyful Fate. She's like, I'm by the M. I'm like, well, fuck, all right, I'll be right there.
I saw that. Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, we I think chose poorly and stayed where we were for the whole for Midnight and Kreator, and hence when Mercyful Fate came on. I'm not the tallest guy. I mean, I remember when I met Ralph. I mean, he's like 7 foot tall. I mean, I was like looking up to him, and I mean, but I didn't have like the best view of Mercyful Fate. I mean, obviously I could hear them, but I mean, but I had to look around, over shoulder.
That's why I like my seat better. I didn't want to have to.
Yes,
it's not a slope floor like King's there. If you're back, it's even on the floor. Still a really nice place though. The brewery outside was closed, I guess, on Monday nights, which sucked because usually that's a really nice brewery out front. You can stop and have a bite to eat or drink before the venue.
I think it's a warm weather.
No, it was open last time I was there. I think it's just Monday night. So
most breweries close on Mondays and Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Fine,
The venue was really nice though. The Fillmore. That's my second time there, but
me too.
I really like that place.
Our good friends All Out War and Incantation are gonna be playing there next year and at the Decibel Beer Fest.
Wow. That's cool.
What was your favorite couple tracks from the set list?
All right, well, let me tell you real quick here. So I see Ralph's got a Mercyful Fate 1998 tour shirt on. So I'm just a little too young. So I missed that tour. And I guess that would have been the last time they played over here. So they were my #1 bucket list band for as long as I've known any of you guys. So let me tell you, I'll just read this real quick because I messaged Karen today. Just this year, just 2022.
Yeah.
I've seen Iron Maiden twice, Satan. I actually got the German hat trick this year. Finally, I saw Sodom, Kreator, and Destruction in 1 year. So
nice.
Kreator twice.
Did you see Destruction?
What's up? I saw Destruction in Maryland Death Fest.
Yeah,
and we saw Sodom in Norway because they ain't coming to the fucking States. I'd love to see them again, but Sirathungal, Mayhem, Emperor, Candle, Dark Angel, Lucky, Sepultura, like the fake Sepultura, the Cavalera, still great. Coroner, Exciter, and Bulldozer, the Italian band. So all those bands. So I've been killing it this year. I'd never seen Mercyful Fate. So over the summer before I'd never seen them. So over the summer, before they announced this U.S. tour, they were playing some festivals in Europe. So Nick and myself went to a festival in Norway to see them. Beyond the Gates of Bergen in America, it was almost like a similar setup to what we saw in Brooklyn. It's this old theater opera hall called Griehallen, right in downtown Bergen, where a lot of classic like old Emperor and Mayhem. These black metal albums were recorded right in this fucking opera hall, and it was magical. It was so fucking good. So when they announced US tour, I'm like, fuck it, I'm going twice. So same set, and like you guys said, they're professionals. I like all their 90s albums they did, especially In the Shadows. But the first two albums in the EP are like the greatest metal ever recorded. So hearing that stuff live for the first time was just, I've seen King Diamond a bunch.
Yeah.
It was always awesome. I love the first couple King Diamond albums.
Right.
Yeah. Just to hear though, like when I saw them in Norway, just when they came out with the Oath, I'm like, I want to start fucking it was so fucking good.
You did tell me about that. Then you got overclamped when.
Yeah, I'm all like,
I love
I'm fine, guys. Yeah, like King's like 64 now or 66 or.
Oh my god,
he sounds fucking amazing. Like I think
he's on fire. He's on fire.
Him and Bruce are like Even I guess Halford too, but these guys are really like they're getting up there and they are fucking killing it.
Is somebody back there helping King Diamond? Because I know
I don't believe so.
Well, maybe I wouldn't fault him. I wouldn't think anything less of him. I mean, he had a female backup singer for the last time I saw him.
Well, it's his wife.
Okay, so maybe
his wife is a female backup singer. The clue though, she was not helping because she was filming the whole show.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
she was in the. So if anyone was helping him, it was a complete secret because it wasn't
somebody else. Yeah. Because when I was up,
does that.
I was up against the barrier when I saw him in Norway, and she was right up there, like filming on her phone.
And she was the one that helped him out with the King Diamond concerts, and actually was seen. You could see her on stage, helping the real highs. But I tell you what, I've seen I started going shows in the fall. I've seen a bunch of bands, and there's no one as powerful as King Diamond in that, especially in that age group right now.
Oh, he's killing.
No disrespect to Bruce.
I'm getting like goosebumps just.
Or Halford. I mean, Halford. You know, unfortunately, has to use the prompter. He's not like the Halford of years ago, who was on level with King Diamond. King Diamond right now is just over the top. Now, I did not regret seeing that tour twice. I would see it again if it was in the area.
Steve, the Nuns Have No Fun EP was 82. Melissa's 83. Don't Break the Oath is 84. So you talk about albums.
He still moves around a lot. He interacts with the crowd. He interacts with the band members. He's like, you know, he's got his little, you know, cross thing. He's, you know, doing that, and you know, I mean, he's not kind of like lumbering around or
right.
Very deliberate.
No prompter either.
No prompters.
I thought he sounded great.
He was amazing.
I forget which one of you guys said it. It would have been great to hear Desecration of Souls.
Oh, I know. That's my favorite one.
Nightmare would have been great to hear Nightmare, but the set list was perfect. Like, you know, that you can't fault any of those songs. And the new song was good too. I thought the new song was
the new song I hadn't heard, but the time hearing it at Philly, it really grew on me. But would I have rather had another old one, of course, or even Witch's Dance?
Of course, but it does kind of sound more like the 90s stuff, which I'm fine with. Like, I think the Time Out's great, you know, Dead Again's pretty good. So I'm fine with all that. Like, if they put out a new album, I'm obviously gonna buy it like instantly.
They skipped all those.
Yeah, me too.
They skipped over the whole 90s catalog.
They sure did.
They did. I think they did that intentionally.
And now when we had Brian Slagle on, Pete, remember we ranked the Mercyful Fate records or songs. I don't remember exactly which it was. Slagle picked a lot of that material over the early stuff.
Yeah. I mean, for me too, it's like I grew up with those first two albums, right? And but I love the 90s stuff.
It's good. Really good.
I kind of wish they would have added one or two from, you know, those 90s albums just to kind of flesh out the set a little bit, because, you know, it was only 75 minutes.
Especially the Witch's Dance would have been the one, I think, from that era, which was almost more like a King Diamond kind of song. But
I wanted it to keep going. Like 75 minutes just flew by. It was so fast.
I know. It was like over for you.
Did
it
you
was so much fun though.
At New York, was there during Mercyful Fate, was there a pit or anything like in the floor area?
Very small.
Small.
But not like Ryan at
Philly.
Philadelphia.
That's not really like a mosh pit band.
Well, see, that's what I asked Ryan. I said, you know, for curious, I said, was there a pit, you know, at New York? And you know, because I said this, you know, the music doesn't really necessarily
look at those album covers.
Ralph's breaking out all the props over there. Look at that.
Ralph's got it all. Don't doubt it. Ralph's got it.
The crowd in Philly was definitely they were just eating it up, and I don't really think they're like a band.
Look at that.
Too, but
because
knuckle bones.
Nice.
Because some of those songs are more almost like just great rock and roll types. I mean, like Curse of the Pharaohs is almost like
just hard rock, right? It's
it's like a groover almost, you know, for him, and you know, it's like, and people are getting tossed around, and you know, and all that, and it was kind of like, you know, it's.
I'm so used to it. Like, I don't mind
act like you've been there before type thing, you know, or you know.
Yeah, I have to say, like, for New York, because New York is so jaded, isn't that what I mean, they're so okay, well, yeah, you know, like they're so casual about stuff. I don't know when this happened, but
I
like
don't
I
know
thought
about
for New
that.
York, that was the most energizing, like crazy. Like the energy level was higher in New York than I've ever seen, honestly. Well, for a long, long time. I mean,
some shows I go to, like we'll bring it up again, but I went to a show on Friday. This old Italian band played at St. But this old Italian thrash band, Bulldozer, and the crowd was fucking. I was fending off people. I was just smashing people, throwing
but
crowd
that's
surfers,
different.
the whole set, like nonstop. I didn't even catch my breath for like 75 minutes. And I'm fine with that.
That kind of music, like I don't know. When I saw Church of Misery there, and they never come to the States. And it's just.
Well, I've been to a lot of black and death metal and European melodic bands in New York City, and everything's been pretty intense. Of course, I haven't been going since before the pandemic, but boy, seeing bands like Marduk and Watain and stuff in Gramercy, the place goes crazy. So maybe it's the genre of music.
It's hard to predict. Yeah, sometimes it's totally mellow.
When we saw Destroyer 666 and Watain, remember that show? Wow.
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
2018.
2018, but pre-pandemic,
Well, I just saw Cannibal Corpse and Brooklyn Steel, and everyone was just standing there.
That's crazy.
Cannibal's a band. You think kill each other?
Not in Albany. They weren't last week.
I don't. Maybe it's the city.
How does Cannibal Corpse not have a giant mosh pit?
Yeah,
Brooklyn.
Yeah,
that is a little mysterious.
Well, I mean, maybe I wasn't in the mosh pit, but I thought it would be crazier than it was. I don't know. Just
I think a lot of it has to do with for Mercyful Fate is that they've been away for a long time, and you know what they say: absence makes the heart grow.
Big time.
And I think people were just really stoked for this, even though he comes around. King Diamond comes around, does his thing.
Not a lot though, here and there.
Yeah, and it's a different thing though. You're right. It's like a totally different.
Yeah, it's a stage show. It's like
I mean, the last time King Diamond was around, he was at King's Theater. That was 2019.
Yeah.
I was at that show too.
I know. I saw you there. I saw Chris Allo there.
Well, but viewers don't.
Oh.
I will say, so
they know now.
Ryan, you and I both knocked them off our bucket list this year because I've been into Mercyful Fate since day one. Never saw them. Oh man, I saw King many times, but never saw Mercyful Fate.
You know what? If you have a band on your bucket list, you're probably twice as long as I have there, but it's a good feeling.
Yeah,
like I'm finally getting to check this fucking box and see these guys after so many years.
And not only that, they were so good and on point. There was nothing disappointing about them.
There was no flaws.
No.
And the crowd, I thought the energy and just the general vibe, like there was no bad feelings, no fighting. Everyone was like, I would walk past somebody and they would just like put their arm around me and sing King Diamond. You know what I mean? It was like a real community kind of thing. I just loved it. I haven't had that experience in a long, long time. So
his band was great. Becky Baldwin, the fill-in.
She was good.
Gorgeous too.
Keep her, King.
Yeah, right on.
So, I got a question for Ralph. Ralph, did you miss Michael Denner at all?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. I mean, he was around when they first reunited. I don't know why he wasn't part of this. I heard he wasn't even asked to be part of it or something, That was a shame that they couldn't get him.
Yeah. That was the only thing I missed from the whole
it was kind of like the whole Bill Ward thing with Sabbath.
It's
like one real sour note because, like, come on, he's still alive, he's in good health.
Yeah,
they're not getting any younger. Just get him in the fucking band. Just suck it up and just get it. But I don't know the inter-band politics. So
I think me and Scal both ran the same schedule, unless he went to a show on Sunday night. Also, I did 4 shows in 5 days.
No, Sunday was off.
So me and you both did 4 shows in 5 days.
Yeah, different shows, but 4 shows.
You were at Mercyful Fate, of course, Thursday. What did you go to? The Friday went to the Bulldozer.
Friday was at St. Vitus, was Bulldozer, and the band Deceased.
Yeah,
Virginia, okay. And that show was like we're talking. I've seen shows where it's mellow. That show was bananas. Like I like a good violent. I'm not a small guy. I like a rowdy crowd. And that show was just people spilling beer and just no fights though. That's the thing. Rowdy's fine, but when you starting fights, get the fuck out of here. I hate that.
Right on.
You can, as long as you knock into someone, you're like, oh my bad, you're cool about it. I'm fine with that. So, and that was a good, friendly, violent show. So
like
Bulldozer,
Exodus.
Well, Bulldozer, I mean, they're as old as any of these bands. They started in like 1981. They're this old Italian thrash band. I've seen them before, and I know I've said this.
That's what Metal Inquisition. That's their one album, right?
No, that's Pile Driver. Pile Driver. The great. I saw them too in Canada a couple years ago. So I've said before, only Italian bands can get away with wearing capes in Ozzy. Italian bands in Ozzy. So they come out and the guy's got a cape on. And in the past, he's had like a little podium on stage, the singer, and he sings. And it was good. But this time he got rid of the podium and he just played bass. And it was way more like supercharged Motorhead. It was just so fast and violent, and people were just fucking killing each other. And it was so much fun.
It wasn't just the cape though.
So,
it had like
it's the whole Italian.
it had points on it, and it was. I mean, it was beautiful.
Oh, it was like a full Vincent Price,
body.
Christopher Lee. Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, it was great. Nick, who at the work couldn't go to either of the Fate shows, but I brought Nick to the Bulldozer show, and he was just glowing all night. So that was the greatest.
That's cool.
Good.
So who did you see on Saturday night?
So Saturday, my friend Jose booked a bunch of black metal bands from Montreal.
And what's that promotion called?
Oh fuck, I don't remember.
It's something to do with Hispanics.
What's that?
That show you went Saturday night was with Massacre from Texas, right?
No. It was all black metal bands.
So there was another show Saturday night in the city that had a band was all the Hispanic metalheads in the city had like a black metal show.
It wasn't where I was in the show.
It was also you were. I thought for sure you were at that one.
No, I was at the Kingsland over.
Oh, okay, you were at a different show.
Another part of Brooklyn. Yeah, no, he had these Canadian bands. It was great. I know. I get to tell the story again because I like telling it. So they go up on stage, and it's pure satanic black metal. They get up, they have candles, they have all kinds of hoods, all kinds of shit. And the headlining band comes out, Gevura from Montreal, and they're covered in blood. So I told Karen a story, and Karen's like, not real blood. I'm like, yeah. So what they do is they go to like a Polish food store, and you can buy blood, like you're gonna make blood sausage or whatever, and you boil the blood on the stove, you sterilize it, and then you just cover yourself in blood. So now you're covered in fucking blood.
It's that simple.
Yeah, it's so simple, right? When I make it, it's like 1, 2, 3 recipe. Martha Stewart could tell you that. So they're up there fucking headbanging like maniacs, and I'm drinking my beer, and I feel like wetness. I'm like, what the? So I look down, and this guy's got long curly hair, and he's headbanging. Blood just fucking going everywhere. I'm just getting covered. So I'm like, well, now I got to drive to the fucking diner like I just slaughtered a pack mule. I hope I don't get pulled over. Like, sir, you're gonna have to get out of the fucking car. All right, officer. So I get to the diner bathroom and I tell my friend Craig who I'd gone with. I'm like, another Craig. I'm like, I'll be right back. I got to go to the bathroom and like wash up. So I go there. And he's drunk like college kids in the bathroom. I'm like washing my face in the sink, like trying to get this. But it's I don't know. This has happened to me like
they thought you were probably just saw a shooting.
Times this has happened to him.
I've been covered in blood.
Saturday night, right?
Yeah, just a regular Saturday night. But I don't want to get pulled over though. Like that would suck, because how are you going to explain that away to a cop? Like, sir, I was in a black metal. Get the fuck out of the car. Yeah, like what do you
like, Mr. Scow? We had a murder over on 88th Street. Where were you?
Yeah, that's
right.
That's all I fucking.
It's perfect. It's perfect. You could have walked into a diner covered in blood and just said, can I have a couple napkins, please?
I just went right to the bathroom and they just kind of gave me a look and they're like, yeah, because they probably, 2 a.m. at the diner, they probably deal with all kinds of.
They've seen real blood on the streets coming in there, I'm sure.
Yeah, so that was a good time. Had a good time, and then on Monday we went down to Fate again, and then tomorrow I'm going to see Armored Saint and Wasp.
Cool.
I don't know.
So I went a little different. I went a little different.
I
went a little different direction. I stayed in Middletown for Quinn Spins, our third show we had there. Karen helped out with Hudson Valley Metalheads Promotions. And we had Wrath of Typhon headlining with Abuse Ritual. And we had a band called Vicious Blade from Pittsburgh.
So good.
Who were just amazing. Like
I was so surprised by them.
Yeah, it was really fierce sounding, female vocals. She reminded me a lot of Angela Gossow vocal style. I told her that, and she was like really pleased because that's one of her idols. And they were like a blackened thrash metal band, and they were really good.
Yeah.
Abuse Ritual came on and did like their deathcore, New York hardcore. We had a really successful show from top to bottom. Wrath of Typhon are very entertaining too, and had a little after party. And somehow I went to 3 shows in a row. I picked up Ralph, or gave tickets to Ralph. We went to see Blue Oyster Cult on Bart Dahmer's 75th birthday. It was epic. Awesome. They played like 4 songs on the when they came back out for the encore. I thought they really surprised with the set list. Their set list changes all the time. They're kind of like a Grateful Dead band. They don't play the same set from like last week. you'll be looking at the list as I go next song, and then they completely changed it up and they play different
have
stuff.
a catalog to reach back. I mean,
but I mean, a lot of people have that catalog, like Iron Maiden, that don't do that. So, but I mean, this band is like one of the almost like a jam band, which jam bands do that a lot. So anyhow, they did some stuff that they didn't do last weekend, like the Career of Evil, which is one of my favorite songs.
Great song.
In fact, when Immolation went off stage up in Albany a couple of weeks ago, that came right on. I thought it was perfect for when Immolation went up stage. But they did Joan Crawford, they did Harvester of Eyes, they did Unknown Tongue, which I haven't really heard them play that in a long time.
That's a deep cut.
And they had an epic version of Last Days of May. It was just went on and on. It was
the
so
two guitar
good.
solos, one from Richie and then one from Buck.
Oh,
Yeah.
Richie shreds his balls off on that one now. He
does. Oh my God. And Count Ralphus got to meet Buck Dharma. I got to wish him a happy birthday out in the parking lot after, and Ralph got something signed.
Yeah, I got
Monday we went back to the Mercyful Fate tour, which I already talked about, and I was very tired on Monday going to Philadelphia. I kind of forgot that Darren Mullen was going. I could have copped a ride with him, but I thought I had someone with me until the last second. So
I thought you gave Darren your ticket.
Darren had talked about this day one, that he was going with 3 friends, and I was supposed to sit with another friend, and that didn't work out. But then I asked a couple people that wanted to go, like Chris Allo even, but he had a doctor's appointment, and I think he might have took the ticket. But I had brought a friend from town, and he couldn't make it last minute, but it worked out well. And now there's no shows for me until next Friday with the Black Friday deal at Quiz.
Sounds like old Steve is back.
Old Steve is back.
He's coming back to shows.
He's going to get on he's getting on a jet airliner pretty soon. He's going to fly to Florida for the last night of the Cannibal Immolation Dark Funeral tour. I think that's in works.
Oh, right. That's what I want to hear.
And then we're going to go on ride freaking roller coasters. We're going to go to a theme park.
Coasters, motherfucker.
We're going to stay on the beach with Ben Worth. And maybe we're going to go to Hulk Hogan's bar on Monday night for the Hulk Hogan karaoke. Hulk Hogan's there like all the time for karaoke. You just go in and he's in there running it.
Yeah, you told us that.
He's got to have.
You got to take pictures if that happens.
Well, you don't think I'll take pictures, but I hope I can pull this off. And we're looking to book a bunch of stuff at Quinn's next year, start setting this up. So Middletown's going to be the place to be.
And then Steve's going to wing on over to London and jam with the Stones, man.
I think we are booking the Rolling Stones just for you, Brian, on your Ryan, on your birthday.
I'll be able to kick them off my bucket list. That's great.
Whoever has like a half mil that wants them to play there.
Steve, that was a Fast Times at Ridgemont High reference. They're not really playing.
Mm-hmm.
I got that.
There you
Huge fan.
Where did you get that jacket?
Let's talk about the set for Mercyful Fate, because that was amazing. That pentagram with the goat's head, the lighting up eye, that was crazy. It was
his costume
like
too, when he came out with that
that crazy
ram head
goat.
They had like the crown, but it looked like it was made out of bone, like black bone.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's throne. It's crown. Yeah.
Oh, it's very
there it is. Ralph's showing you a picture.
I got the distinct impression in Brooklyn that a good chunk of the people, when he first walked out with the goat's head on, was just kind of standing there. The people weren't sure that was him or not, because nobody reacted until like he started singing. There was like,
oh shit!
I know when he came out, I was just like, I was dumbstruck.
Yeah.
Like I said, and I even heard you were like, oh my God. I mean, I don't know what else. Like,
I don't know if it was, oh my God, that he was there, or maybe I saw Zen next to me. It could have been either one.
I don't know. But it was a moment. Like everybody was just like, whoa, I don't know.
It was epic. And I tell you what, as I look back on the 1983, 84, I forget the year. I'm a little rusty on it. Ralph is our historian. He'll tell us exactly when Mercyful Fate played with Motorhead at the Capitol Theater. Was that 83 or 84? I think it was 84.
It was 84.
And he came out, and there was nothing like this other than maybe Venom, who I had not seen live. And you come out, and it's this guy coming out with the human bones. And back then, he didn't have the Melissa skull now anymore. He used to sing to that skull. And after he came out, I'd like to declare the Capitol Theater the house of Satan. And then people were like in gasp and awe, like she said, "Oh my god!" But then it was like, "Holy shit, this is
Yeah. There's
you know,
nobody like that.
It was Shout at the Devil, Motley Crue, and stuff like that. But this was the real deal. And if you stay here, he's coming out to deny Jesus Christ. I know people that like what flipped out and got the album. It's like took it back. I can't have this in my house.
Give it to me if you don't want it. I'll take it.
But it was very offensive at that time. I mean, now there's a million bands that sing about Satan, and everybody does this. But that was cutting edge then.
Yeah.
Well, Gary didn't go because of the Satan factor.
Because he's religious. There was a lot of Satan factor there.
Yeah.
I remember
We have a
hearing
friend Gary who is born again, and he's a huge Mercyful Fate fan, and he said that he thought it over long and hard, and he felt like he couldn't
He wasn't going to be able to
I feel
repent.
bad for him.
He wouldn't be able to repent for his sins the next day after that one.
No, you know who you are, and you know who King Diamond is. Go and enjoy it.
That's Kim Bendix Peterson to you and me. Nice guy.
Ralph, what were you gonna say, Ralph?
I remember hearing an interview with King Diamond. I think it was like on Old Metal Shop, that Old Metal Shop.
Oh yeah.
Metal
First
Shop.
time I ever. It was the first time I ever heard anybody saying, "Oh yeah, I believe in Satanism and Church of Satan." Like you had Iron Maiden, like kind of apologizing before the Number of the Beast, saying Iron Maiden are not Satanists and this and that. And a lot of bands like they like using the image, but then they shied away from it. But King Diamond was the first one that was like totally into it. Like even Venom kind of seemed like they really were just doing it as like almost like a gimmick compared to like King Diamond was friends with Anton LaVey and he was part of the Church of Satan and stuff.
He was kind of scary. Satan, yeah.
It was scary. Like when I first listened to Melissa, it was like I could think of like hardly anything that ever made me feel like a little scared listening to it. Like,
yeah,
like the most evil thing. And then I heard stuff like if you played it backwards, Melissa will come rising out of the fucking...
Oh shit, let's try that in a minute.
Let's do it right now.
Let's do it right now. Give it a shot. Hey Daisy, what's going on?
Daisy's gonna try. Daisy, want to see a ghost of Melissa come out in the room? Maybe she'd rather go back to bed.
She wants to go back to sleep. No, thanks.
She doesn't lick my face like your dog though.
Well, yeah, she's outside sleeping right now too.
Too late.
My boyfriend does props. You guys know that he does props and set dressing, and he was fascinated by the set. All he kept talking about was, wow, they did a great job. That really looks like marble. I'm like, all right, enough of the shop talk.
He's in the business though. Yeah, it's talking shop. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to find the guy that did all the rigging for all that, and to set all that up.
Oh, for Butch Jones, I'm bourboning tonight.
Ooh, look at you. Ryan, when you saw them in Europe, was the set similar or was
so I don't remember them having like he's got the little house, little like marble building with the pentagram and the goat skull on it, and on the left and the right they have the arches, and I don't recall them having the arches, but I mean otherwise they had the giant inverted like neon cross,
that was
and
amazing.
the stairs and the drum riser. Yeah, it was like nine, and he had that like that little chained off area up there. It was 99% the same set.
Did he have fire in Europe? Europe's big on fire usually stuff that goes on there that doesn't go on over here.
It was an old nice opera house, so I don't
so maybe they didn't allow it. Who'd you see on that bill along with them?
All right.
Everybody. Well, one of the nights was Sodom.
Yeah.
The night that Mercyful Fate played, it was Candlemass.
Yeah.
And they did the whole Nightfall album, which was fucking awesome. And then Mercyful Fate. And the night before was Enslaved, Emperor, and Mayhem.
Wow.
And
it
was just
fucking mayhem. Yeah,
but it was like 4 different venues all over the city, like 50 different bands, even bands like I'm not, sorry folks, I'm not really an Opeth fan, but Opeth played, and a lot of French people I went with wanted to see them. So
sure,
you could see whoever you want, and they had like a whole tattoo convention going on.
It was metal.
Yeah, it was cool. It was just fucking great. I had a great time. But Mercyful Fate obviously were the last band on the last night. That was like the fucking, that was like big thing because they were only, they hadn't announced this tour yet. So I'm like, well, if I want to see them, I guess I got to go to Europe.
I knew they were doing it. I knew they were coming. How could you just play one show? How could you just play Psycho and that's it?
Psycho, I guess so.
And they've been
That's too much money to be made not to come.
Is there word of this Mercyful Fate touring in 2023 with a new album? You just saw the other day or just yesterday or today? that they're
I would not think that they wouldn't tour.
Yeah, or maybe
eventually
early
for that album.
2024
Probably next year. It might be, yeah, it might be another
Isn't there
year.
another
I'm sure
King
that-
Diamond album also that's supposed to be released?
He's
Or
been threatening it for a while.
Yeah,
We'll
he's
see.
threatening
Maybe
both.
his emphasis is on Fate again now.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so we'll see. We'll see.
And
But it was an epic
that
few
pentagram
days.
that Mercyful Fate had up is the same as this. And
Yeah.
the band Vital Remains about over 20 years ago had this on an album cover.
Yep.
Now Mercyful Fate
Uh-huh.
has adopted it for like their symbol on their stage show. And another quick tidbit is that about 8 blocks away from while Mercyful Fate was playing, there was a shooting going on in Brooklyn, and cops had to like shoot a guy dead in the street.
Wow.
Shooting off bullets he was shooting at some woman, but he was just like shooting all over the place, and the bullets were
Wow.
going all over. But there's video of that up on YouTube.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not the best neighborhood in Brooklyn, that's for sure.
It certainly isn't.
Yeah.
No, it was not at all. No.
But it's a great venue. It's just a horrible place to get to unless you
Yeah.
live right down there.
No, for real, yeah.
Yeah, for
Middle
I
of
love
Brooklyn
that
with
they
no
called
fun.
Green Theater for King Diamond, and it was such a gothic looking old haunted.
Yeah.
theater, you know. And then King coming out with the goat mask, and then having the crown. It just gave so much atmosphere. It was the perfect place for that show.
It was.
And
I
how many
said that-
people were singing? I mean, they're
Oh,
all
yeah.
off key, of course.
How can
But
you
it was
not?
great. It felt so cool. Like everybody was doing it. I don't know. It was just.
It was very much Iron Maiden, like the vocal,
totally.
the sing along. And I said
Yeah.
Mercyful Fate is another band like that you could just sing along with. And we hadn't seen that in that big of a crowd. Like I'm with Scow. I saw them at Studio One back. Scow was not old enough, but I think Ralph was at Studio One in Newark. They played
was
up
the
on the
first
very
time.
top floor.
Yeah, the crowd was like when
That-
they dangerous meeting, that one line, everybody stopped. You're gonna get yourself killed.
Yeah.
The whole place was singing it.
yeah, right when Evil started, I was born at the 7th.
Oh, yeah.
It's like everybody,
Yeah.
everybody,
Everybody.
Doomed
And
by
you
the
can
Living
see all
Dead.
these hands in the air, like grasping and making these. It was great. It was just
It
so
was,
much
it was metal.
for real, for real.
It was
Yeah.
true metal. It's
And
going
for
to be
all
hard
this
to top
guitar-
that. The best concert I saw this year out of all the
Oh,
bands.
big
Yeah,
time. It's
yeah.
the best concert
better
I've
than
seen in a long
Priest,
time.
better than Maiden.
I would agree.
I'd say so,
Loads of guitar solos, man.
Oh.
It's
Oh,
all-
Hank's the man. Yeah, Hank is the man.
Jesus. So-
Yeah, and they were nice and quick.
Yeah.
Not
Right.
too much.
No endless shredding, right, Karen?
Oh my God, Raven were horrible. I don't know. They just kept,
Who?
last time I saw Raven, the guy just
Oh.
kept breaking into a guitar solo, and he's all sweaty, and his hair is like
No.
Oh, that's fine.
and
but yeah.
bald and bad. And I mean, it's not like they can't play because they are so professional, but it was just one solo after another solo. I was just like, okay, I gotta go now.
Weren't they doing Wiped Out too? They did the whole Wiped Out album, right? I think, or All for One. They did one of those two albums.
Yeah,
we
it
saw
was
them in
wiped
Dingbats
out.
a
It
while
was
ago.
wiped out. Yeah.
We saw them in Dingbats a while ago, like a couple months. I think they didn't do that. They didn't play like 8 billion solos. They just
No.
played stuff, and they kicked fucking ass.
They
You know,
sure
so-
did. They sure did. I think actually there was more people there this time than when we saw them at Dingbats. But
It's a shithole club in Jersey. Everybody, a little biker bar.
oh my God, what
Pretty
a!
legendary though.
Yeah, it's been there a long time.
Been there forever.
But I think actually he's got that weird bass. How many strings does that guy play in Raven? Not a force.
I
What
was
is it?
headbanging too much too.
It keeps going out of tune.
Count strings.
So I think they
Hmm.
might have been doing all those solos to like buy him time, John Gallagher time to get his shit together. So it just kept happening. So I don't know. Anyway.
Anyhow.
And next
Anyway.
week I'm seeing Primordial in Montreal.
Ooh.
That's my upcoming.
The same night as we're having our Rock Fantasy anniversary
Sorry,
party.
Steve. Yeah, I'm gonna be in Montreal watching Carpathian Forest and Primordial, and
Good for you.
Drinking
I wish
cheap
you
Canadian
could
beer.
be here with us at one of the shows.
I can't
but
clone myself. I don't think
He's missed all 4 now, Karen. He's got perfect record of not coming.
Yeah, he's not
always
coming.
off doing some
Let's take the hint. It ain't happening.
seeing bands and crazy.
Hopefully,
places.
eventually. We've had some pretty good bands on our end too.
Oh, I love All Out War and Morpheus Descends. I definitely
Right.
go, but gonna be in
Oh.
Canada.
You would have been at the show last week too, but you had
Yeah, I
you had
would've
a
gone.
million shows going on.
Million shows, And you know what though? I would tell you before. I hate
You're
to
not
admit
gonna-
this, but before COVID,
Yeah.
it wasn't blowing shows off, but there were shows like, I'll see it next time. Like Destruction tour.
yeah.
I'll see Destruction next time. I'm good. After COVID, fuck it. If they're touring, I'm fucking going. I'll give
Because you don't know how long
don't-
we got this time. You never know.
yeah,
what's
you
gonna
don't
go
know.
on
And
next
after
year.
that
But
forced
I mean, it's
abstinence.
like every night of the week. Like right now, as we speak, Weed Eater is playing at St. Vitus. You don't
Oh,
think
yeah.
I'd love to be there? I would love to
I
be
bet
there.
you, I bet you
Really?
$100 if Ben Worth's there.
Oh, I know he's there. I know he's there. But I think I think I'm
Morpheus-
gonna slow it down. I'm gonna my last show that I'm planning, but this doesn't mean that it's gonna be in stone. I want to see High on Fire in December and then chill out.
Okay.
We'll
Yeah.
see
Christmas
how
time,
that
then.
lasts,
I'm
right?
definitely looking forward to chilling out after Montreal because that's a lot
Yeah.
of shows.
You've been
I think
nonstop. dude.
December I may go to Carcass and
Yeah.
Obituary and
Oh, text me about that. I might go with you.
in the
I'd like
city.
to see Obituary.
I'd like to
would.
see Carcass again. It's been a long time.
Might go to that show. Of course, Morpheus is off in Texas, some big festival. Sammy talked to me today. That was supposed to be with Venom Inc. He said Deicide's replacing Venom Inc., so they're warming up Deicide there.
Oh, there's another band. Why don't they get their shit together? Venom. No Venom Inc. Just
Venom Inc. couldn't get over here
They
with
canceled.
passport.
well,
Yeah,
I mean,
visa
why
issues.
can't Kronos, Mantis, and Abaddon just get it together and play?
Not
There's
gonna happen.
People want.
there's an interview with Cronus about this whole thing
Yeah, he's not.
recently.
I know they're not doing
Not
it.
gonna
I know
happen.
him and Mantis hate each other.
There's too much bad blood. Yeah, it ain't gonna happen.
I will say the new Venom Inc. album is really good. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, it sucks when you have all these bands that can't get along and they got two factions. It's ridiculous.
Like Pink Floyd.
Oh.
Steve, there's so many.
They
of
just
them.
can't
So
patch
many
it up.
doing that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Those are the ones that can make the most money off of patching up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know Pink Floyd's sitting on a mountain of cash. What's Venom's excuse? I know they
Oh.
can't. They don't.
Venom-
Even Led Zeppelin
could
did that
use
one
it,
big
though,
show,
too.
like the O2 in London. They did that
Yeah,
one show.
That was it.
And it was a cool show. I mean, I wasn't there, but I saw the video. But it
So
sure
Dolly
looked-
Parton's singing with Rob Halford now, and she wants to get Jimmy Page and Robert Plant back on the stage together. This is
She
Dolly
could probably
Parton
pull
talking.
those strings.
Probably.
Maybe,
I think they do
yep.
it for Dolly.
Yeah, I think they
Play
do
it,
it for
they
Dolly.
could play at Dollywood.
They should put that on a shirt. Do it for Dolly, guys. Come on.
Do
How
it
about
for
do it for
Dolly.
Dio?
Stop fucking- you're not getting any younger.
Oh, look at
Stop fucking
that
around.
one. Woohoo.
Do it for Dio.
Do it for Dio. That's it.
Well,
Take
so
out Gamma
Craig
Maven.
and Ryan enjoy Wasp and Armored Saint this week.
I
Yeah.
will.
Yep, on Saturday night in
Blind-
Jim Thorpe.
Blind in
And,
Texas.
And then I got, I guess I have to go now or I'll be shunned, but I'll go on Sunday to see Corrosion of Conformity in Reading.
You'll be
So-
shocked.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it. You won't be sorry.
No, no,
Craig, come up to Middletown next Friday. Come hang with us.
I would love to. I am going to do, you know what? I am going to do that sometime. I will. I'm going to.
Next
It's really-
Friday is sometime for
I've
you,
watched,
man.
well, I've watched your videos and it's just, you guys have so much fun and
Oh, it's such a
it's-
great
and
place
it's,
we put together. It's so much fun. And when we opened up the store
Yeah.
for Midnight Madness after, and
Yeah.
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 we're already talking about what food to get
Midnight
this time.
Madness.
I promise I
could
won't
work,
be so
and
loud.
I can work
this
on my
Friday.
bowling game too while I'm there.
There you go.
You can bowl, you can play pinball, you can go shoot some pool.
Yeah.
But I
Drink
also
some
have to
alcohol.
I have to watch a shit ton of movies for Monsters Den. Pete's got his heart at work. I mean,
Ah,
I
give
watched
him the night off.
I
so he
watched
can
7
come.
Gamma movies in like 4 days. My
God
I'm
bless
lucky my
you,
brain-
dude. How do you
I'm
watch?
lucky my brain
7
didn't fall out
Gamma
of my
movies?
ears, And
I got one more. I got one more to watch. Gamma the Brave, the worst one out of all of them. So that's it.
No,
I
is that
rewatched
going to
all of
top
them.
Gamma versus Zegra? I almost
That's
wanted to. I almost wanted to jump out the window when he started playing the xylophone on his fins.
Oh,
Oh,
and-
cool.
But plus I got what's 5. I watched 3. So what? I got 5 more Conjuring movies to watch.
Zegra is the guy. He's
rewatch,
the
too.
one with like the knife head, right?
He's like a swordfish.
Giron.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, that was Giron.
Giron.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Zegra's a swordfish.
Look at this.
but-
Karen knows her Gamma monsters. Look at that.
Yeah.
I
This could
do.
be like that. This could be the Gamma ranking. Could be like the largest ranking ever. You could have like
Nice,
17 people. on
Gamma
it.
is a friend to all children. Don't forget that.
Yeah,
And they're
yeah,
always
he
wearing
is.
long pants. They
Yes.
always have little shorts on. I
There he
don't.
is. See him?
There it is.
Yeah. That looks
He
like
has
the
sh-
same
they
Gamma
wear
from Gamma versus Ziga because his face didn't move when he was flying around.
Well, the eye
It's the
moves a
same
little
one.
bit
It's the
from
flying
side.
Yeah,
films
the
make-
eye goes back in there. Yeah.
Does the eye move? That's just as good. That's like real movie prop for.
I got a glow in the dark camera somewhere. So I don't know where he is.
Ralph's gonna come to that episode. He's gonna have like 50 Gamera figures, right?
I know.
Oh, I bet he
Dress
doesn't
up as Gamera. Look how big he is.
I bet he doesn't have one Gamera toy.
All right,
Hey,
Ralph.
and hey, Denny Barth, if you're watching this show, which I hope you are,
Yes.
I got you a Mercyful Fate shirt. I'm going to send it to you, Denny, and I hope you get feeling better and can't wait to get you back down to the States, Denny.
There you go.
Ralph comes through.
There you go.
Ralph comes through. It didn't take him long either.
It was right there.
Got up and reached for it and came back. He didn't
Here's
have
a
to
question:
do
Has
anything.
anybody written a song about Gamera? Because Blue Oyster Cult wrote a song about Godzilla,
Of
I don't
course.
know.
and fucking Anvil wrote a song about Mothra, which I think is the best Anvil
And there's a
song.
band that's named after Godzilla too. I have to remember Gojira.
Gojira, yeah.
Yeah.
Where's the
Yeah.
Gamera
Look that
song?
up.
Come on, we need a
I
song.
want to look that up.
Someone get to
There
it.
is a Gamera theme song, right?
It's gotta be.
Yeah.
Well,
Some
for the
little kid
music,
singing it.
not,
Oh,
not,
and
not a
fucking,
metal, but a metal cover. We need a metal
Voivod
song,
just
man.
put out an EP of all Ultraman covers.
Gamera.
Has anybody,
Hey.
Pete, have you heard that?
What's that?
Voivod just released an EP of all the covers from the Japanese show Ultraman.
Oh yeah.
It's fucking wild.
All right.
Like that's just the most random thing. I know they did the Batman cover like 30 years ago, but it's like a
Yeah.
whole EP of just Ultraman covers.
I freaking love Ultraman.
Yeah, and Voivod's like, this is what we're gonna do now.
You gotta check out the Ultraman pinball scout that Darren has at his house. I know you've been playing
I
that
know, I
club,
gotta
but
get
you
over
gotta check it out.
I gotta
It's
get over it.
bad. It's bad. Yeah, I don't like it.
Oh, really? I love Ultraman. That shit
I
is-
love Ultraman, but I'm very
Science
disappointed
team.
in the pinball.
It's a cool game though. If you watch
It
all
looks
the
good,
stuff.
but there's no toys in it. I
And
mean,
I
I'm
opened-
talking
I opened
about
up the
pinball,
can of
worms
I'm
on
talking
this.
about Mercyful Fate.
There's a can of worms here. Talking about Gamera and
Just
Ultraman.
went
And,
from
I
a
know.
Merciful Fate concert review to another episode of the Monsters Den, just like that.
It's all working together. It's all promotion.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I think if
it
you
was-
like Merciful Fate, you probably like fucking Ultraman and Gamera. You know,
Probably.
It was so cool running into people at Mercyful Fate just randomly. You look over your
Yeah,
shoulder
everybody.
and somebody was there. I had a great time like that.
Same
I met so
thing.
many
Yeah,
people.
same thing in Philly. It was the same thing there. So many people I knew.
Yeah.
That's
We had
great.
Sea of Tranquility fans were everywhere, man, in Brooklyn. Holy cow.
And Philly, too.
They
Oh,
were
yeah.
in Philly.
Yeah.
They were seeing us. They were
Yeah.
saying hello. It's very good to meet a lot of you guys if you're watching.
Yeah, absolutely.
definitely was cool. Actually, every show I go to now, it's awesome.
Isn't that Ryan Scow?
Yeah, and oh yeah, so Keeler comes up to me. He's like, "This is Ryan Scout from Sea Tranquility." I'm like, "Steve, you're on the fucking show too, you do."
Well, I know
It's like,
I was. I was
Yeah,
pointing them
I'll
out to
see
the, like there
Tranquility.
were fans like having. I think you signed someone's back, didn't you?
Yeah, I signed it, and then they had it tattooed on. Yeah,
I was
Karen
like,
will have it.
really?
Karen will have
I've
it.
yet, to, I've yet to be
It did not happen.
I've yet to be recognized, so I'm still safe in my anonymity. So
Karen, you should
Just
have
you wait, it
Scow
doesn't last
sign.
long, right?
You could have Scow sign your forehead and tattoo it.
yeah, that's a great idea, Steve.
I don't even have a comeback for that. That was so stupid. Like,
sorry, that was the
do
dumbest
I
one.
even have to say
I
it?
think that should be the end of the show. All right,
I know, let's-
Someone's gonna
Yeah,
make a
right
show
there.
note of that. Or you
get
can
the
get it
big
on your
vaudeville
arm.
cane to come out and just yank Steve off.
To Karen, love Ryan.
That's all, Hulk.
Gamera's fire will come out and burn.
Don't be
someone,
jealous.
Here comes
I know
Godzilla
you
with the
miss him.
atomic
I know you
breath,
miss
Steve.
him, Steve. Don't be jealous. Don't be jealous.
I miss who? I just saw him the other night.
All right, everybody. That's a wrap here from us. A little recap of Merciful Fate.
There he is.
There it is,
Good
King
guy.
himself. There you go.
There's the
We're
king.
going in the cemetery.
That's right.
born as-
So
I
thanks
have
for
a bunch
watching,
of
everybody.
King
Visit us
George,
on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. All together, all the damn time. For Karen, Steve, Ryan, Craig, and Ralph, I am Pete. We'll see you tomorrow in the Monsters Den. Take care, everybody.
Oh.